I think the greatest threat domestically to the country is this $21 trillion debt hanging over the cloud of America and future generations. And the fact that interest rates are going up, we're going to be paying close to over $400 billion in interest expense, which I think is the number one or number two issue in terms of federal expense to the country.
You say that a huge sell-off is coming, the biggest in my lifetime. When is it coming? First of all, that's the first question. When?
Later this year or next, the decline will start in. But it doesn't happen in a day. And Stuart, when I said it's going to be the biggest market downturn in my lifetime.
All right, guys, so I got an interesting video for you today, and I want you guys to pay attention because what I'm going to say is important. And especially if you're in the stock market now or you were thinking about buying stocks, this, in my opinion, is the best way to go about doing it. So I'm not going to give recommendations as to what stocks I actually like, what stocks I plan on buying. You know, I can in a future video if you guys would want me to, but right now I want to talk about how you should work the stock market. So for instance, right now the stock market's super high. Why would you buy stocks when the stock market is super high? Like I hear a lot of people talking about weed stocks. I bought weed stocks when they were $15 and I was kind of late to the party. Well, the same weed stock that I bought, which was Canopy Growth, it's now at like $52. So I sold in the 40s. Why did I sell? Because it's overvalued. People are just buying it because it's in the news and it could go to $100. I have no clue. But I'm gonna take my profits. I'm happy with, making ×2 profits, and I'm gonna walk away because I made my money. And that's what you should aim for. You're never gonna be able to sell at the exact top. You're never gonna be able to predict where the exact bottom is. But what you can do is you can buy towards the bottom and sell towards the top. That's literally how you make money. Now, like I said, I'm not going to give out the picks of which stocks I think, are going to do well, which stocks I would want to buy. If you guys want to know that, you can comment down below. I do have quite a few stocks that I think are going to do well, but right now I'm not buying anything because I feel like everything is going to crash in 2019. And people have been saying this for years. People said it was going to crash in 2016, 2017, 2018. So you may be asking yourself, why would the stock market crash? Well, here's why it's going to crash. Number one, look at the stocks, dude. Take a look at what the stock market is doing. It is super high. Everything is overvalued. So why wouldn't it crash? And I had people telling me I made a video about AMD. I had people saying that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. AMD's different this time. Look, I invested in AMD a while ago, back when they were below $10. So yeah, I invested in them and I sold for a profit. But the thing about AMD is it's not about what the company's going to do. It's about what the stock market's going to do. Because if the stock market starts to fall, everything goes down with it. It's not like one stock just keeps rising and rising through the fall of the stock market. That almost never happens. What ends up happening is everybody just starts dumping their shares and you're left with a stock that even if they're doing well and the company's doing great, you're still losing money because the stock market is just falling. So it would make absolutely no sense to hold anything. Even the best kind of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, the FANG stocks, Facebook, everything else, it makes no sense to hold those because it's just gonna fall. So why do I think it's gonna fall? Because like I said, look at the stock market. And if you guys don't know how to look at the stock market, what I would tell you to do is go to the Google search bar, type in S&P 500 and look at where we're at. We are really high. You could type in NASDAQ, S&P 500, you could type in Dow Jones. You could see that every single market is doing really well. But it doesn't do really well forever. There's no such thing as that. It doesn't just keep climbing and climbing and climbing and never falling. If you look historically at the stock market for the past 70 years, it goes up and down, up and down. So eventually, we've been going up for a while now. It's been a long time of going up. It's gonna have to go down. And I can't predict, realistically, no one on this planet can predict if it's 2019, 2020, 2021, but I'm not gonna get caught holding stocks that ain't worth anything. So I sold almost most of my stuff. The only stocks that I'm still holding are Cobalt stocks because I think Cobalt in the future, with Tesla and all the battery powered vehicles and everybody wanting to switch to battery operated and not gas operated, I think that the Cobalt stocks that I own will be a long-term play. But other than that, I sold everything. If you don't plan on holding the stocks for 40 years, there is no point of buying those stocks right now. In 40 years from now, the landscape is going to be different than what the landscape's like right now. 40 years from now, we're going to see animatronics, we're going to see robotics, all kinds of different stuff that will play into, you know, how much a company is worth. So you might buy Coca-Cola now thinking, oh, Coca-Cola is a dominant company in the food and beverage industry, but 40 years from now they might not be. I mean, most likely they will be, but there's a chance that another company will emerge and take over. Could be Pepsi, could be something different. All right, so that's what I wanted to tell you guys today, is that I do believe the stock market will crash next year. And if it's not next year, it could be 2020, like I said. It could even be 2021. But if you own stocks, why would you want to hold those and lose money unless you plan on holding them for the next 40 years? So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to explain what I would do. This is obviously not financial advice because no one can predict the future. Not, you know, Steve Jobs if he was alive, not Bill Gates, not Stephen Hawking if he was alive. No one knows what the market's gonna do. That's just the, you know, the curiosity of it. But we can only take predictions and inferences and make our best educated guesses based on history. And based on history, I'm telling you guys right now, if it follows history, which it normally does, it ain't looking too good for the stock market in the next 2 years. So other than that, guys, that is all I got for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section below. Other than that, that is all I got for today. So peace out, guys.